Hello, my name's Tom Cahill. It's Wednesday, the 27th of August 2014. I'd like to make a quick follow-up video to the one that I just made there called Child Pornography. Set anyone up, anytime, any place, right? And I was just basically explaining in a roundabout way, the way I do. I go on a bit for about 8 minutes. That was very obvious to me with the very first time that I heard about the internet, that's what people would be using it for, to set people up. I knew it would be. Thing is, I also referenced the fact that I kind of think I went into the background of it. It took me longer. Was the fact that I was talking about the fact that I'm slightly unique in that I do sort of look at things the way they are. There are other people who are like this. It's not because I'm a nasty, dangerous criminal psychopath. It's because I'm just used to sort of working out how people think, and I kind of see things for how they are, and I immediately put certain things together, which in no way means I can't be tricked and stuff like that, but it does mean that I see things that other people wouldn't see. And I was just trying to explain that, and I laboured the point probably. But the thing that I didn't mention was one, when I was talking about the 7/7 bombings and how I heard power surges, I didn't just get off the train. I knew that they'd probably be blowing up because I was on a train headed to Victoria, and where was I? I got off at Green Park, so I thought. Because of course the whole point is they could have put a bomb in Green Park Station, but I thought, well, if I'm going to Victoria, if they're going to do a big bomb like the Bologna bombing, they'll do it in Victoria, because just think how many people would be there at that time in the morning, because I was getting into my work at about 9, maybe 5 to, maybe 5 past. I don't remember the exact time, so I couldn't say whether I avoided the bombs. For all I know, the bombs could have already gone off. I honestly couldn't tell you. At the time, I couldn't have told you because I wasn't paying that much attention. I don't even know if I had a phone or a watch on me. The point is that the other thing I forgot to say was that when I, immediately clicked the first time I heard about what the internet was about, I didn't even need to know. As soon as I heard transfer things from computer to computer like a telephone, but with everything, I knew it'd be used for setting people up for child pornography. I knew it would be. And the other thing that I immediately realised is I thought, and this is one thing that's really quite confused me, but in some ways it's good because it's a different angle, is that I thought snuff films, because I'd heard of snuff films, but I thought they would just be like an absolute epidemic in snuff films. Now, thing is, like the satanic panic of the 70s, and false memory syndrome, and Munchausen syndrome by proxy, which is meant to be real, and false memory syndrome is meant to be real, but, like for instance in England, the only place you get Munchausen syndrome by proxy, there was a whole load of diagnoses in Newcastle, and around there, but nowhere else. So you see, it's kind of like one of these things. If someone believes in this bullshit, they'll be saying everybody's got it. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but it's basically being used to take children off people on a mass scale now. So you see, it's one of these kind of fancy things. The satanic panic. There is a Satanist problem. There are Satanists. They do kidnap children. They do breed them to kill them. But these things do exist. They do steal children to kill them. Children go missing regularly, and they're not going to get adopted in America all the time. A lot of them are getting used to be killed, or they have their organs taken off them and all sorts of nasty stuff. These things do happen. But anyway, this is the point. I thought snuff films would be the big thing, and since that time when I twigged to that thought, I was being told constantly, "Oh, they don't exist. It's just made up. It's made up. It's made up." Snuff films are made up. I don't believe they are made up. I absolutely believe they exist. And this is a really weird thing. There's a website on the internet called Sharon Boat, and apparently Sharon Boat is something to do with God or something who used to take people to the underworld. And it's basically all these kind of like videos of film and sort of these pictures of various accidents, or various nasty stuff, like basically accidents, people getting killed, all sorts of horrific stuff. And there would have been a time when I was probably, what am I, 33 now, when I was probably about 28, something like that. Around that time, my mind started to change, and I could kind of look at things that I wouldn't have wanted to look at before. And really, they just doesn't really bother me. I'm kind of desensitized to stuff. Now, I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think a lot of it's actually just down to getting older. So I just don't things that just I kind of can kind of put things in their proper place. And once you accept the bad things happens, looking at it doesn't actually affect me as much as what it would have done at some stage. I think, yes, maturity thing, you're more secure in yourself. That's what I think, because a lot of children look at things they shouldn't, and it makes them freaked out for a very long time. So, it's very important children don't look at certain things. And I've obviously dealt with that in the Bridgend suicide cluster and how it links to nudging, and Philip Blight organising the suicide plays, and how nudging is being used on a wide scale throughout Britain, especially on children. And Jamie Bartlett, who I used to go to school with, I knew quite well, and how he's very involved with it. Right, now this is the point. So snuff films was the other thing that I thought in that bolt of an instant. But this Sharon Boat website, it's not like a kind of, you can find it easily, and there's quite a few. There's another one called Best Gore, but that Sharon Boat one, it was actually saying, "Oh, we want advertising," and I thought that's weird, but they didn't really seem to have any advertising. Now I still think this snuff films must be being used for advertising, but it must be kind of on like some kind of nasty dark part of the internet, like dark web or something, which I don't even know how to get onto. But you know, like it must be being used there, because I still refuse to believe that it can't not be used to get people to go and look at stuff. But bizarrely, it doesn't really seem to have really taken off, because, for instance, now, very topical, this American guy's apparently had his head chopped off in Iraq by ISIS, or IS as it's now called, obviously all completely made up, obviously never happened. And they're trying to say in England, if you look at it, you're going to get arrested. Don't say what you're going to get arrested for. Again, more bollocks, trying to say you're not even allowed to look at things now, or you're a terrorist. But the point is, snuff films was another thing that I was thinking of straight away as soon as I heard about the internet. And I've never seen a snuff film, and I still never have, and I don't want to. But the point is, since then I was convinced they didn't exist, or sort of that was all the evidence, but I still thought they must. I thought even if they don't basically exist, there still must be some, and the idea that there aren't any, it's quite ridiculous. There's all these ridiculous programs on the telly, like about something called there's one about these cannibals, and the kind of the picture of it is like a woman kind of on a stake, and it looks like the steak's coming out of her mouth, and it's sort of gone up through her. It looks like what I can't remember. I forget. It's something about these cannibals or something. And apparently the guy who directed the film was up on charges because they were saying that back in his own country, because they were saying he must have actually killed people to do it, and they were kind of using that to discredit it because clearly he hadn't killed anyone. And also, I mean, it seems very strange to me that you'd be up on charges in your own country if you'd murdered someone in another country. But anyway, it's the 27th of August 2014, and my name's Tom Kyle. It's a Wednesday. I'd like to hear what you think. Bye bye.